Now this one, I personally cannot wait to see.
We already saw at least 2 titles change hands here tonight. Will we see another? As the Primetime Championship will be on the line between 2 seasoned technicians, the Invisible Man and James Bond. We have very clearly said before, Mark, there is no love lost between these 2 men. They could not coexist as partners, and many times they have found themselves on opposite ends of the ring. This time the Primetime Championship is on the line. Winner takes all. We're going to find out if this rivalry is going to be settled.
The following contest, scheduled for one fall, is for the TWA Primetime Championship. Introducing first, the challenger from London, England, weighing in at 216 pounds, 007, James Bond.
James Bond, we'd like to point out, he is the first person to defeat Invisible Man and end his winning streak in TWA at least a year ago. James Bond is in great shape. He is not fooling around.
And his opponent, from parts unknown, weighing in at 209 pounds, he is the TWA Primetime Champion, Invisible Man!
Invisible Man, one of the crown jewels of Donald Trump's Tea Party. He has kept a stranglehold on the primetime title ever since he won it. And Invisible Man, of course, owns a victory over his much-hated rival James Bond at the Super Series when he pinned Bond last to win the match for his team. But this is no team warfare. This is now the Primetime Championship. If we saw those 2 go at it the way they did at Super Series with teams, what are they going to do to each other now that the title's on the line? Here's the bell. James Bond already going to work on the Invisible Man. And now the Invisible One tries to maintain his momentum to keep himself strong. Bond grabs a hold of the head. That's the only visible part of his body that Bond can see. But I don't think he saw the jawjacker coming. Of course, he did not see that hand coming down on him. .007 is getting mightily confused here.
Man, Invisible Man is so fun to watch. I still can't believe how he is not in the main event yet.
The closest that Invisible Man came to the main event was that he was one of the last 2 people in the Royal Rumble early this year. But it was God who was the eventual winner.
Well, he was being forced to wear his clothes at that point in time. I'm sure he would have won if he were still invisible.
James Bond, massive clothesline, decapitates the Invisible Man. and I think James Bond grabbed a hold somewhere to scoop slam Invisible Man. Found his arm, obviously. And now 007 with a massive judo chop. Oh, and a knee right to the face. Bond is showing absolutely no mercy whatsoever. And Invisible Man wouldn't have it any other way. Crowd in New Jersey is wild for this match. And now, I don't know if he was trying to grab a hold of his head or if it was his hand.
I've noticed when Invisible Man is lying on the canvas, you can see his shadow a lot better. So I think it makes it easier to see his limbs.
That may be. That's probably why James Bond is able to keep his offense. He sees the shadow and goes for it. I think James Bond, if he wanted to get the submission win, he should have dragged Invisible Man out further away from the ropes. But there's the code MI6. He's going to hope to put him away right now. New primetime champion? No! Only count of 2. Bond seems to know exactly where Invisible Man is in the ring at all times, and that should help him. Oh, I thought James Bond was going to go for the face of Invisible Man, but it looks like Invisible Man beat him to the punch. I couldn't tell if he drop kicked him or not. I can obviously see Invisible Man's footprints. Bond should keep an eye on Invisible Man's foot. And now James Bond tried to make a run at Invisible Man once again, but Invisible Man hip tosses him. There's no telling who has the momentum right now.
This is the most back and forth match yet.
Obviously, Invisible Man landing punches. Bond, if you're listening to me, look at the feet. So far, Invisible Man has been keeping the advantage in his favor. If this keeps up any sooner, the primetime title is going to stay around Invisible Man's waist. Oh, I think James Bond just caught Invisible Man with a kick. Seems James Bond's weak spot has now become the arm, because the Invisible Man always seems to catch him with it.
I think the arm is the hardest part of him to see.
Oh, suplex. And the blood rushed to the brain so hard that James Bond ends up getting cut right above the left eye. But James Bond, Fisherman's underhook suplex. Referee Charles Robinson was a bit slow in making the count. That blood loss, I think, may cost 007. 1. No. James Bond seriously at a disadvantage now thanks to that cut. Now Invisible Man. Come on, James. Don't quit now. 1. Bond is still in the game. Use those chops. Do whatever you gotta do, Bond. And he wrenches the spine and the neck of Invisible Man. But he shoves him off. And now, Invisible Man, I think that was a DDT. Bond's losing more blood by the second. 1. No, that's it, James. Just hang out for a little while longer. Every time Invisible Man goes for the pin, Bond kicks out.
Well, that's gotta end at some point.
Bond's got the crucifix pin. Come on, referee, give me a break. He could have probably had the victory if you were a little faster in generating your count.
Maybe it's hard for him. He can't see Invisible Man's shoulders.
There's a pin. 1. Invisible Man gets a shoulder up, and Bond, he's now got the momentum in his favor. Or maybe not. Invisible Man seems to be getting the better of James Bond by the second. Clothesline almost decapitates him. There's a pin. 1. Stay alive, Bond. Don't quit.
He's gonna quit. Hollow slam.
Oh, Christ. Come on, James. Kick out, James. Damn it. Invisible Man retains his title.
Winner of this bout, and still TWA Primetime Champion, Invisible Man!
I know the night's not over yet, but I think this was the best match.
James Bond brought his guts and his glory all to this match, but Invisible Man just kept outsmarting him at every turn, and that's why he's still the champ.